be in support of the protest? Will he come out and join them in the walk or in the protest? Will Atiku also come out to join them in the protest? Will they come to say, we are aware that our people are hungry and do something about it? Is there anything wrong in doing that?
But people that will bring the political angle, you cannot blame them.
No. Okay, when Major General Buhari at the time retired, when Tunde Bakari, when Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when Wole Soyinka and the rest
were at the forefront
out to say fuel subsidy is bad for the economy and we do not want you to do that at this time. Wasn't it political? It was. That was what even gave birth to, at the end of the day, this current APC. So these opposition leaders, if we want a peaceful, that protest was not also violent. They only stood at a place and they were singing and dancing and shouting and giving speeches upon speeches of their own, what they call their analyses, their researches. So these opposition leaders should also come out and stand and say our people are hungry. That's all.
I get that.
Maybe I'm being simplistic. No. That's what it should be.
It is valid. But in a country where before the whole protest even came to the fore, when you have conversations and you see opposition jump on the conversations, there was this particular one that I was discussing with you a couple of days back about the statement that Ononuga released. Just because there was the local government autonomy and Peter Obi didn't make statement about it for so long, Ononuga had to categorically come out and say that, now they've released, there is the local government autonomy and now you're not saying, just that always putting the political undertone and the seeming attack on the opposition when they are vocal about certain things. You wouldn't blame when there are reservations, because Peter Obi over the weekend was able to say that, okay, you know what, I'm in support of the protest. But then in trying or seeming to hold back, you really cannot blame, because
I know they'll say it's
bitter
change
because he did not win,
because he lost the election.
Yeah,
but that does not matter really in this situation. If indeed they are opposition political parties as we speak right now, they should be speaking to the ills or perceived ills of the ruling party. They should come on. Let's see their faces. They should not be masked. One of the criticism of this protest was that the opposition is masking, themselves. You don't see them come out and beat their chest and say, we are in support of this protest. We can go out. All of us will come and stand.
A lot of organizers are now masking themselves.
Exactly. I saw a young man on television.
I
saw a young man on television yesterday. He said he's the director of mobilization, and he was speaking. I was happy to listen to him to say, okay, these are the people that are organizing this protest. We want to see who is organizing this protest. That's one. Second is that, look, there is no doubt about the legality or otherwise of this of protests in democracy. People can gather. It's a right, and they can gather to say we do not like the policy of government. Now, what government has been talking about is the degeneration into anarchy or violence. And that for me,
which is one of the valid concerns.
For me, that is
because
valid.
Especially with the headline that we just read from the Punch newspaper about the US, the UK, and Canada already issuing statements to their citizens and saying that be careful in Nigeria. Because yes, protest is the right of Nigerians, but let's be sincere. Sometimes we lose sight of what we're fighting for. You see them burning down government property. You see them looting businesses. And can you remember the report about the national insurance in Nigeria about the 2020 protest that was saying they lost tens of billions, people trying to claim things that they lost during the protest. These are the concerns.
Okay.
Also endangering the lives of their fellow citizens while protesting.
I agree. I'm saying that the duty of the government is to protect the protesters.
The government that you're protesting against, what's the
duty of the government is the security agencies to protect those who are protesting and ensure that they are civil and they stand where they are making the protest. In fact, the protesters have the duty not to disturb me if I chose not to be part of their protest.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's part of the responsibility is not to block the road and not allow me to go to work.
At this point, I would like to state that there's a headline this morning: the Nigerian police saying that their officers on non-essential duties have been withdrawn.
They should be withdrawn. They should all be ready with their batons to protect us.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll take a break and return in a moment. Please join us on Facebook. We're right there. And we want to hear your thoughts on this one. Akin Alabi Samuel, thank you. Amo Abedu Sunday, thank you for being right there. We want to hear your thoughts on these issues. Stay with us. One of the fears of people for this protest, we will also take it, is the fear of these protesters or hoodlums taking advantage of the seeming and chaotic situation to enter into shops and take their goods. And so you see people seeing that, okay, everybody's just moving in one direction and shouting and chanting, then they just walk into people's shops and begin to loot their wares. That's the fear also of people in Abuja as well, who, particularly traders, who were complaining that, look, our shops are not secured. When these people began to move around town, they just enter into people's warehouses and shops and take things that they bought with money.
I mean, these are valid concerns, because if you're saying we're protesting against hunger, against the economy, they don't come and make my situation worse by just looting the goods that I have in my store. And still talking about the protest from the Daily Post this morning. Protest: we will use Eagle Square with or without permission. Organizers Dear Wike. Over the weekend, there was a report making round. There was even an event where Wike was categorically stating that the organizers of the protest have not officially notified him about their intention to use the Eagle Square, and he said that they cannot just go to social media and be telling him that they want to use it. But then the organizers of the planned nationwide protest have vowed to go ahead with the use of the Eagle Square in Abuja, despite alleged resistance from the government. The mobilization director of the Take It Back movement, Damilare Adenola, stated that on TV yesterday, and he said that the organization had issued a letter to the Minister of Federal Capital Territory some week seeking permission to use the facility. Reacting to Wike's claim, Damilare said it is possible that the receipt of the letter is being delayed by bureaucracy in government, or the minister is likely being insincere about receiving the letter. He then assured that another letter will be issued today to ensure that the permission to use the facility was appropriately obtained.
Okay, here is Wike speaking about it.
I'm trying to read on social media. They have applied to me to grant the Eagle Square. Do you apply to me through social media? You write a letter to the minister. I will see you. Who are you? What do you want to do? How many days do you want to spend? How much will you pay? When you dialogue, people will take correction. And that is Mr. President for you. He has never told you that he will not make a mistake. He's human. But what's important, when you call his attention that is a mistake made, he has that attention to correcting such a mistake. So please let nobody bother to go and carry placard or whatever to go on the streets.
Why don't they want people to carry placards and be on the street? Why? Really?
Dialogue, do not protest.
Okay. Well, what do you think? What's your own opinion about it?
And there's a report being done by Punch newspaper this morning. Hunger protest: Nigeria may lose 400 billion naira daily. CPP is projecting. A planned nationwide protest scheduled to commence on August 1, 2024 has sparked concern among economic experts who warn of devastating consequences if not properly managed. The Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise has cautioned that the contest and protests could inflict an estimated loss of 400 billion naira daily, with severe consequences for the country and its citizens.
Okay. Dr. Dakwasa, good morning, Oluwaseun Anibuku. For information, Nigeria is a country where you want to claim your right and you will lose your left in the process. Oluwaseun, I can bet you the process that will bring change and revolution will not be announced. Okay. Rufi Adeoye said, protest should not be the last resort. No any past public expression has ever been peaceful. There are rioting, looting, pandemonic arson. The opposition leaders ought also to be a front to it as well. Okay, however, but remember the protests in 2012 did not turn to arson, did not turn to looting or pandemonium. It was just people expressing their dissent to government policy. And in days, government responded and everybody went back.
Which is why my point is, if the protesters should be focused on the assignment is end bad governance, end poverty, do something about the economy, and not say remove President Tinubu.
Or day of rage.
Yeah, you have the right to that. Because I was reading a report this morning about a supposed planning to be a protester being arrested for trying to incite violence on TikTok. Because went on TikTok and was talking about how it's going to be violent, it's going to be bloody and all of that.
Yeah,
these are the things that we do not want.
And this is the problem that I have with this kind of protest. I mean, how do you tag a protest day of rage? I mean, you shouldn't. They should not do that. And it's not about changing who the president is or changing who the governor is.
It's about addressing the issue.
Exactly. We only have a way, I mean, that is the easy way to change them is by election. The other way is if your parliament will impeach them, or if they are National Assembly members or House of Assembly members, you recall them through a process. So these are legal processes that you could follow, but you cannot carry placard and say you want the president to resign.
Tinubu must go.
Or he should go. I mean, that shouldn't be the focus. The focus is, I mean, they said the focus is hunger. I recall Friday, somebody dumped a list, almost 30,
About 40.
About 40?
Yeah.
No, on our platform. And later I began to see it. I began to see it on X and different places. So they said these are the reasons we are protesting. And they had a shopping list. Maybe if you're able to get it.
Yeah, I have it now.
Yeah, 40. There's a shopping list of number of things. The reasons why they're going on streets.
Hunger, inflation, fuel pump price, minimum wage, power or no lights, bad roads, budget padding, INEC rigging of election with impunity, highest costs of governance, highest bidder appointment, excessive borrowings of looting, crude oil theft, non-functional refineries, excess electricity tariff. We can't take everything.
No, we can't do that. We really cannot. Anthony said, good morning to the integrity team. Organizers of the protest should lead. Any protest without leaders on ground will be chaotic and violent. Tinubu, Professor Yinka led protests, but the protests were not violent. Don't be surprised if this protest ends in pandemonium unless the organizers were on ground. Day of rage, Tinubu must go, etc. are warlike slogans, and I don't think this is right. And they will give us so in 2024, we are still sending paper letters. NCT has no email where requests are sent to. People should protect their goods during the protest and make sure they are properly insured. And
there was
issue. Good morning. On hunger protest, why is Tinubu not addressing the nation? Wonder too, is Senator Ndume not right on his seclusion from Nigerians? Those he consulted will not tell him the truth. They are not hungry as millions of Nigerians. Is both the Oni of Ife, the Sultan Sokoto, or his ministers very hungry? No, for a man who single-handedly removed the fuel subsidy without consulting anyone, even his APC governors, should do the reversal, because this is the main root cause of the rise in goods and services, thus sending millions of Nigerians to hardship, hunger, and poverty. I think
during Gelale was on TV yesterday.
I know.
And I think we should take part of the things that he said the government is doing to stem all that is going on. The presidential spokesperson highlighted the federal government's efforts to include single-digit interest rate credit facilities for over 1 million MSMEs, the reconstruction of seaport and roads nationwide, the student loan scheme, the consumer credit program, and the increase in the national minimum wage, stressing that some of these efforts may take time to yield tangible results. Now, he also went on to say, right now you have over 300 roadways across all states of the Federation being reconstructed, and that is not including the super highway from Lagos to Calabar that is under construction, the Badagry to Sokoto highway, and many others, not to talk of $1 billion being right now expended on seaport reconstruction across the eastern and western seaport. Do you think this is the way to go? This is what the federal government is saying is being done right now. What do you think?
Yeah.
Facebook.
With the